Genesis chapter 29. Jacob resumed his journey and went to the eastern country. He looked and saw a well in the field. 3 flocks of sheep were lying there beside it, because the sheep were wanted him as well. A large stone covered the opening of the well. When all the flocks were gathered there, the sheep herd would roll the stone away, an opening of the well, and water the sheep. The stone was placed back on well's opening. Jacob asked the man at the well, "My brothers, where are you from?" "We're from Haran," they answered. "Do you know Laban, son or Nahor?" Jacob asked. They answered, "We know him." "Is he well?" Jacob asked. "Yes," they said, "and here is his daughter Rachel coming with his sheep." Then Jacob said, "Look, it is still broad daylight. It is not time for the animals to be gathered. Where the flocks, then go out and let them graze." But they replied, "We can't until all the flocks have been gathered and the stone is rolled away from the well opening. Then we will water the sheep." While he was still speaking with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. As soon as Jacob saw his uncle Laban's daughter Rachel was with his sheep, he went up and rolled the stone from the opening and watered his uncle Laban's sheep. Then Jacob kissed Rachel and wept loudly. He told Rachel that he was her father's relative, Robert's son. She ran and told her father. When Laban heard the news about his sister's son Jacob, he ran to meet hugged him and kissed him. Then he took him to his father's house, and Jacob told him all that had happened. Laban said to him, "Yes, you are my own flesh and blood." After Jacob had stayed with him a month, Laban said to him, "Just because you're my relative, should you work for me for nothing? Tell me what your wage should be." Now Laban had 2 daughters, an older named Leah, and the younger was named Rachel. Leah decided eyes, but Rachel was sharp and beautiful. Jacob loved Rachel, so he answered Laban, "I will work for you 7 years for your younger daughter Rachel." Laban replied, "Better that I give her to you than to some other man. Stay with me." So Jacob worked 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed like only a few days to him because of his love for her. Then Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife, for my time is complete. I want to sleep with her." So Laban invited all the men of the place to feast. The evening, Laban took his daughter Leah and gave her to Jacob, and he slept with her. And Laban gave his slave Zerah to his daughter Leah as her slave. When morning came, there was Leah's. So he said to Laban, "What is this you have done to me? Wasn't it for Rachel that I worked for you? Why have you deserted me?" Laban answered, "It is not the custom in the place to give the younger daughter to marry before the firstborn. Complete this week of the wedding celebration, and we will also give you this younger one, in return for work yet another 7 years for me." And Jacob did just that. He finished the week of celebration, and Laban gave him his daughter Rachel as his wife. And Laban gave his slave Bilhah to his daughter Rachel as her slave. Jacob sat with Rachel also, and indeed his love Rachel more than Leah, and he worked for Laban another 7 years. When the Lord saw that Leah was unloved, he opened her womb, but Rachel was burnt. Leah conceived, gave birth to a son, and named it Reuben. For she said, "The Lord has seen my affection. Surely my husband will love me now." She conceived again, gave birth to a son, and said, "The Lord heard that I am unloved, and has given me this son also." So she named him Simon. She conceived again, gave birth to a son, and said, "At least my husband will become attached to me, because I have bore him 3 sons." Therefore he has named Leah, and conceived again, gave birth to a son, and said, "This time I will praise the Lord." Therefore she named him Jediah. Then Leah stopped having children.